Seeing everybody. I have no injuries to report, which is a plus. And very excited to have the trophy back here, the Lamar Hunt Trophy back in Kansas City, where it belongs, with the Hunt family. So that was a special day yesterday, and to be a part of that, I was honored. For the city of Kansas City, it was a beautiful thing. So the fans were phenomenal. They all stuck around. It was pretty chilly around that time, and they were there keeping all of us warm. So it was a great thing. It was good to see Quentin Lucas there, our mayor. So he, and likewise here. But I appreciated the shout out off the stage there. So. And then our players and coaches, I'm so proud of them and for the job that they did getting us ready and getting us to this position. And the best part is we still have another game left. So we need to make sure we take care of business. From there, guys have been in, coaches have been in and cranking already on San Francisco. So we know they're a heck of a football team, and we got to make sure we, through all the different distractions that present itself with the Super Bowl, we've got to make sure that we focus in and get ourselves ready to play against a good football team. And so that's where we're at right now, and time's yours.
You usually get right back and grinding and preparing for San Francisco, but did you take some personal time last night to enjoy this accomplishment along the way? How'd you spend the evening?
Had a cheeseburger and went to bed.
You know how to party.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce wouldn't approve.
Yeah.
Chris Jones, you said no new injuries. How did Chris Jones come through that? And did you get out of him yesterday? Maybe what you anticipated?
Yeah. So we started him off slow, and just on third downs, see how he would do, and he was feeling better as we went along. So we gave him a little bit more. I thought Brendan Daly did a nice job of managing him throughout it. Chris did a good job of communicating. And I think as a result, he came out feeling pretty good. So not that he won't be sore. He hadn't played for a little bit, but I think all in all, he came out healthy.
You anticipate him being ready for more in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I presume, yes. Yeah.
I know it's early, but what do you know about the 49ers?
Yeah, so I've had a chance to look at them. Spent the morning doing that. So I know they're a good, solid football team, and they play hard and aggressive. You saw that last night playing against a good Green Bay team. So they do a variety of things on both sides of the ball. They can run it. They can pass it on the offensive side. And on defense, they got a variety of things that they throw at you from a defensive standpoint. Solid on special teams. So all in all, it's a good football team. Well coached. Very well coached.
Coach, you've been through this process before for the Super Bowl, obviously, from your time in Philly. You briefly mentioned the circus atmosphere that's going to be in the Super Bowl week, but how do you go about balancing getting the team ready and ensuring that they are focused before they have to deal with all those media commitments next week?
You try to get as much done as you possibly can right here, and so that's what we'll do. Get most of the game plan in while you're in your own environment here. Try to keep it as normal as possible. And then once we get down there, within all the media obligations that you have and the other things that go on, try to keep it as normal as you can, practice-wise there too. So.
How much do you lean on Rick and his staff, knowing that the weather just being so different going down to Miami in the 70s, 80s compared to what you've been getting used to here? Yeah, so sun. I checked on that now that you asked that. So, but sunsets at like 5:55. So in the games at 6. So it's been like averaging 73 degrees here and it's supposed to be that the next few weeks with a low of like 60s right in there. So I think we're going to be okay that way. We've been playing all this cold weather. I've reminded the guys throughout the last month or so here, keep yourself in warm weather shape, and they're probably looking at me crazy for saying that, but this is why. So everybody was doing a little bit extra running and
conditioning after practice and that. So I think we'll be okay. And you're wearing that jacket. We had the opportunity to play there where it was the high altitude and all, and the guys push themselves through that. I think they'll be okay at sea level. So.
Andy, is there any qualities or any characteristics that are similar from the team you took from the Super Bowl back in 2004, I believe, to now with this team in terms of leadership characteristics or anything of that nature?
So, I had great leaders on that. You're talking about my Philadelphia team? Yeah, no, I had great leaders on that team. Future Hall of Famers, guys that are, at least one of them's in now. And so I was fortunate that way. And I feel like I've got future Hall of Famers on this team here, and Hall of Fame leaders too, which there's a difference. We've got some real good leaders on this team. So similarities are good players. I've been blessed that way as a head coach.
Andy, I know a lot of people were wanting to watch you and the way you reacted to yesterday's win, but I'm wondering from your perspective what it was like to watch Brett considering where you guys started and the achievement that he helped you attain yesterday.
Oh, no. Listen, a lot of the credit goes to him. For the player, look at what he did with our defensive side of the football as far as personnel goes. So my hat goes off to him. I mean, I think he's done a phenomenal job, and you guys have gotten to know him now over time, and so you feel that energy that he presents, and every day. I mean, it's not just when he's around you; it's every day, and he's got a dynamic personality that way, and he's relentless. So, and it's shown with the guys that he's brought in here.
Andy, with Samuel Hopkins, is there something about the playoff games you think ends up investing in, or is that just the sort of way it out?
Yeah, listen, Sammy has been doing a great job all year. For the majority of the year, he's been healthy, I think, for the first time in a long time, and he's a Pro Bowl player. I mean, that's what he's a first-round draft pick. That's what he is. He's a great player, and so we just have a few of them around him, so everybody can't get the ball every snap. He's the most unselfish guy you've ever been around that's that caliber. I mean, he is, and it's great for the other guys to see, being that he was picked that high. So he just wants to win. You don't care who gets the ball, when, where. He's going to play hard, block, catch, do all the right things. Tried to give him a chance to throw it last week. He didn't do very good that one, but he has a great arm. I just didn't. The other guy, they covered it. So yeah. So
piggybacking off Nate and Brett with the defensive unit, in your experience, just, and I know Spags goes into this too, just how difficult it is to go from one season to another and overturn a unit aside of football so successfully?
Yeah. So Spags done a great job with that group, and the guy he has guys with him on the defensive side that he was familiar with. So, I mean, he'll be the first to tell you that's such a big part of it. He didn't have to teach the coaches. The coaches just hit the ground running and already knew what was expected of them. And therefore the players go, man, all these guys believe this, can teach it. They're all tied in. And, with that, there was a confidence that was built in. So even when things start off slow, the guys are going, we're this close. We're this close to turning this thing around and getting the way we want it. So they just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it. You had some good leaders there on that side too. So.
Andy, sorry, Pat was your leading rusher again yesterday for I think the second straight week. I think he was early a couple times early in the season. What dimension does that add to your offense when he's doing the things he's doing by scrambling around and running for yards? Well,
it helps, especially with some of the coverages that they're presenting them. So, I mean, they have the ultimate respect for him, and they're doubling our guys. So, I mean, you're getting not just one guy doubled, but two guys doubled. So, unless if the defensive line, they're trying to sack them. So, if they make one miss on it or get out of their lane a bit, it's over. I mean, he's got all this running space. So, but we've seen that the last couple of weeks now. And for him to be able to decipher it see it and then go. And he still keeps his eyes downfield, hoping guys have a chance to get open. That's what happened with Sammy. I mean, he scrambled to the right, throws a 60-yard, whatever it was, on a dime, and he probably could have run that for a little bit too. So
Is it something you've encouraged him to do, or is he sort of just
no, it's just part of it. It's just part of the game, yeah. So he knows that. He's you don't have to tell him anything on that. Yeah.
And because to that end, you talked about the offensive line, how much you expect out of that group. What have you thought from their pass protection?
Yeah, listen, they've, I think they've done a nice job. They'll have a big challenge this coming game coming up here. That's a good defensive line, but I have confidence that they'll rise up there to that challenge. So they're wired the right way, and they've battled these last couple of weeks. So I'm proud of them for that.
I know you had a chance to look at the 49ers this morning. Raheem Mostert had a career day yesterday. What sort of challenges does he present in comparison to a guy like Derrick Henry?
Yeah, he did have a career day yesterday. He ran like crazy. So, we'll have to get down and study him and have the blocking schemes down and that. So, but our guys will do that. They'll bear down on it, and they've also got a good quarterback that can throw the ball, good receiver. So, and an all-pro tight end. So, there are a lot of variables to that offense that they can use different weapons, and our guys they'll spend the time going over all that and studying it.
Cool. Speaking of backing off of Sam's question on the offensive line, I think Stephen Wisniewski has started in 4 straight games. What is he giving you at left guard over Andrew Wiley?
Yeah, Herbie. They're both good. I mean, they're both good players, so there's nothing wrong with Wiley. It's just you get in and you get going, and it's working, so you just stick to it and roll with it. But there's nothing that says that Wiley can't. We did a good job with him in there also. But Wiz has got experience. I mean, his strengths are that he's got experience. He's dirty tough. He brings good energy, and he's brilliant. He's up there with Schwartz and Larry. I mean, we might have academically, one of the smartest groups. We got a doctor. I mean, come on. So it's not bad.
James.
Andy, I know this might be kind of hard for you to answer, but give it a shot in a sense. Talking to people around the league, in Philly, other places, do you have an understanding of the impact that you kind of made on the league, with how it's spread across, and how excited they are for you to get back to the Super Bowl? I'm assuming, could you get back to everybody that reached out?
Listen, just before I got here, I answered every one of them. I had quite a few texts. I appreciate every one of them, though. I mean, it's a small fraternity and a great fraternity. So we're all trying to do what's best for this league because of the way we're treated, and that ends up creating this thing. You just saw us go through a recession, and the league was that strong that it could battle through that. And we all had jobs, right? We were all there and working, and there's something to be said for that. Yeah.
And a couple things. For those of us who are not around Mahomes all the time, what's his leadership style? I always see this from the outside. What's his leadership style? And then secondly, how do you process 50 years, of this phenomenal 18, 17? Just how do you process that?
Yeah, he does. He's great to be around every day because he brings energy every day, and you respect that because everybody's got their ups and downs, right? I mean, there's life outside of football, and when he's in that building, I mean, it's all football, it's all team. He's never given it. It's about me. That's not where I've never heard that from. It's all 100% about the team and how we're doing and what can we do better, where can I help, and then buckles down to get the game plan down. I mean, he studies. And for young guys out there, what a great example that is about hard work. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but you see him know when to do that, know when to run, know when to get down, know when to throw it. For a young guy, I mean, it's special. He's a special kid. This city's lucky to have him. I mean, it's a nice matchup, great fans, and having a great quarterback like that.
Andy,
Did I answer? What was the second one? It was 50 years.
How do you process that? I mean, just were you, just were you watching the game, 50 years ago?
50 years ago, I was watching the game. I was, I was doing pump, pass, and kick, So I was. I've got video evidence of that. They've worn out.
Andy, after going through a full year of coaching Frank Clark, is there anything you've learned about him? Something maybe you didn't know about him when you guys made that trade?
Well, he's a great teammate. I knew this before, because I played against him, but he is relentless. Absolutely relentless. And so it's 100 miles an hour at practice. It's 100 miles an hour, during the game. He goes. And that's contagious. That ends up being something that affects the other guys in a positive way. He loves to play. And if you're slacking at all, he'll let you know. He's not afraid to tell you. So, but it's in a very good way. He's got a good way about him.
Last two.
Andy, you were talking about the variables in the 49ers offense, and they run more 21 personnel than any other team in the league by far. What are kind of the hallmarks of a team like that, and what are the benefits of being in that kind of lineup?
Yeah, so that's an old tradition with the Shanahans. They know that offense very well. I was fortunate to start in that offense with that offense, so I'm familiar with it. And there's all kinds of things you can do with it. We've all kind of gone different ways, but our roots come back to that. So it's he's done a very nice job with it. He's a smart kid now. He's sharp, great for this league. This influx of these new coaches with these great minds, man, both sides of the ball. So that makes this league strong.
Last question. It's obviously really hard to have as much success as you've had for as long as you have, but specifically with what you've done offensively, it seems like there's just been so much evolution and creativity in what you've done over your career. So I'm curious, from your perspective, if you're introspective about it ever, how much you feel like you've evolved since the last Super Bowl appearance to now?
Yeah, different, but I think it's I try to play to the players' strengths the best I can. And I think my coaches do the same thing. We're all trying to exploit your talents if you're playing for us, and try to get you better at the things you're not. So these kids are coming out of college now that offensively they're throwing the ball like crazy, and so we're utilizing that from whatever formations might be familiar with them or to them, and just try to give them an opportunity. So it's and then defensively, Spags does it the same way. You're always changing. That's what's so great about this league. You don't get stale. It's and there's always work to be done, always learning that takes place. Football's in a good place right now. It's exciting. Both sides of the ball, it's exciting. You're utilizing the whole field and playing in space, which is creates some unique looks for the fans.
All right, thank you.
Okay, yep, thank you.